Hi everybody, welcome to another little video of Pilates exercises. Today I thought I'd go through some sideline leg raises, leg extension for outer thigh, inner thigh, and of course the beloved Oyster exercises, which I know you all love to do. So we're going to go through that today. Just a short little video with the mat, no equipment needed. All you need is a head cushion. If you haven't got a head cushion, maybe a towel folded up a couple of times, because it's going to nestle between your arm and your head just to help to keep the spine straight and make your lying position more comfortable. So if we start off, I'm going to go onto my right hand side. Okay, so we're sideline, and then we're going to lengthen away the right arm as long or as far away as you can, and you're simply going to place one or two head cushions between the arm and the head like this, or a towel. If you physically cannot get the arm into this position, then of course just bring the arm out in front, have the head cushions here so it's supporting your head, and we're trying to keep as straight a line as possible down the neck and down the rest of the spine. Okay, so with our sideline leg position, we have the lower leg in what I call a chair. So there's flexion at the hip joint, flexion at the knee joint, and that's going to remain static. In this case, it's my left leg is going to raise up to hip height, okay, lengthened away, opened at the hip, opened at the knee, and I've pulled my toes up towards my shin. I'm getting a little stretch in the back of my calf muscle, okay. Now, whilst I'm in this position, I'm just trying to send this hip away to encourage the waist to come off the floor. So in other words, again, we're just trying to keep the spine as straight as possible. And then from here, all I'm going to do is from this left hip joint is raise the leg up as high as I can before I feel this part of the body touching the floor. Breathing in and then back just to hip height. Breathing out, lift and down. Breathing out. We'll call that number 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 5, 6, 7, and 8. You can, of course, if you wish, you can do a couple more reps if you want to. From there, we bend the front leg and we take the right leg out. So the left leg is now flexed at the hip joint, it's flexed at the knee joint, and I'm just resting that on the floor. I've now straightened away my right leg with my toes pointed, okay, and I'm going to concentrate on the inner thigh now. So what I call an inner thigh leg lift, again from the right hip joint, and we're just raising the leg, trying to get the thigh bone clear of the floor. So the movement is coming from the hip joint, it's not that. Okay, so try not to waggle the ankle around. We're just lifting up from the inner thigh. You can see the movement isn't quite as great as when the top leg lifts. We'll just do a few more of those. Breathe out as you lift. And then from there, we can stay on this part of the body, stay with this leg lengthened, and we're just going to draw some circles. So imagine I've put a pencil on your big toe. And all we're going to do, again, from the hip joint, is draw some circles, half a dozen or so in one direction, half a dozen or so in the other direction. Don't worry too much about the breathing pattern for the circles, but do breathe. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the top leg. So we bend the right leg, place that back into the chair position, and we straighten away the left leg. Okay, so now we're going to go into the capital D. So on your outward breath, lift, inward breath, kind of draw a semicircle and come back to where you started. So up in a straight line, semicircle and back. Up in a straight line, semicircle and back. Up, semicircle and back. And let's just do one more. Up and semicircle back. Then of course we've got to go in the opposite direction. So from there we start off making sure the leg is just past your bottom, so your bottom's kicking in. Forward and up, straight down. Forward and up, straight down. Semicircle up, down in a straight line. Semicircle up, down in a straight line. Semicircle up and down. Semicircle up and down. Semicircle up and down. Just one more. Semicircle up and down. And then from there, we simply straighten both legs. Yeah, so we're going to go sideline, double leg lift, squeezing both legs together, trying to keep the body weight out of this arm. So we're not going to physically push and raise the upper body. So with the legs squeezed together, we simply lift and down. Lift and down. You can have this hand in front of you if you're going to stop the wobbles, but obviously no kind of physical body weight into the hand if you can, and down. And if you want to make the balance just a little bit more challenging, arms alongside your ears with the palms facing each other. I know you can't see my palms in this video angle, I don't think, but palms face each other. So whichever position you favour. There we go. A couple more. And last one. And we can hold that up there, of course, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently down. And of course, we repeat that sequence on the other side. So what I'm going to do for the purpose of the length of the video is move on to another exercise, but on my other side. And you can, of course, just start this video from the beginning, lay on your other side, and repeat those exercises, okay? And you'll definitely feel those working. Really, really effective. So I'm going to move on to my left-hand side to go into the Oyster. Okay, now a lot of you, I'm sure, are used to the Oyster by now. We've done it quite a few times in class, but if you're not used to the Oyster, or if you haven't joined my class before and you want to give it a go, excuse me, it's very, very effective. We have 3 stages to the Oyster. Okay, again, you'll lay on your side with your arm lengthened away. This time, of course, I'm on my left-hand side. Left arm's lengthened away. Okay, trying to keep a straight line down the arm, down the neck, down the spine. As on the other side, if that's an issue, just bring your arm out here. Place your cushions or your towel under your head. Okay, now from there, we are stacking. Let me just straighten up a little bit. Okay, we are stacking the hips, we're stacking the knees, and we're stacking the feet. Okay, so hip over hip, knee over knee, foot over foot. Stage 1 Oyster. Again, just like the other side, think of lengthening the hip away to encourage the waist off the floor. Stage 1 Oyster is simply lifting the top leg as high as you can without the pelvis starting to rock back. Okay, so nice and tight through the core as always. Let's keep the hip over hip and keep the stability as we raise the top leg. 1, 2. Again, you can have your hand here if it stops the wobbles, but no physical body weight. Breathing out. Hip over hip, just as high as you can. Doesn't matter how high the knee comes. I'm just going to do a few more of these. And then we're going to move into stage 2 Oyster. And then stage 2 Oyster is simply lifting the feet off the floor a couple of inches or so. And it's exactly the same movement again. Okay, if you want to work on the stability a little bit, just like we did with the sideline leg series, you can have your arms lengthened alongside your ears. So breathing out, lifting the top knee, keeping the feet together, keeping the feet lifted. Couple more or so. There we go. And then we're going to move into stage 3. Now stage 3 is kind of 1 and 2 put together. So remember, stage 1 was this position, stage 2 was this position, stage 3, up, down, up and down. Pelvis hip over hip, down. Try and make sure that your feet and ankles are in line with your spine. Just kind of readjust yourself, have a little look if you think that your feet have crept forward a little bit. Down. Make sure this thigh, of course, always stays in contact with the floor. No need to lift this leg off the floor. A couple more of these. I'm feeling this, so I'm sure you will too. And there we go. So there you have stage 1, 2 and 3 Oyster together with the sideline leg raising exercises, and of course to be done on both sides. And as I said a couple of minutes or so ago, I've just done one side on each exercise. You can just stop this video, replay it when you change size, just for the sake of the duration of this video, so it just keeps the size of it down a little bit. But hopefully that demonstrates a little bit of sideline exercises for you. So you have the straight leg lift, you have the inner thigh leg lift, you have the inner thigh leg lift with the circles, and then the D shape leg lift, the double leg lift, of course, and the hold. And then you're going to go into your Oysters, stage 1, 2 and 3. So 10 repetitions per exercise is by all means fine. You can always add a few more in, as I'm sure I probably have in this video. Enjoy it, get the most out of it that you can. Please stay healthy, stay safe everybody, and I will see you all soon. Take care, bye bye for now.